Hello, John Tapp here again. I'm going to demo how to just make a simple code file in Mooses and use its features in the new code file editor to make the Lily file out of that. So to that end, I went ahead and did all the typing and made a code file. I'm going to open it up and explain it. So I'm going to open up Mooses. It's down here. If you were to make a new code file, you go into the code file editor and say new, or if you don't have one, new is right here. If you don't have one, there would be nothing there anyway, so you can fill it in and then do save as. But I've gotten a file from a colleague at Michigan, or a code that they want to do about trials and problem behaviors and whether or not the trial is incorrect while they're watching kids. Okay, so I made up codes, and the important thing about the code column here is that they are all unique. You don't want to use the same code again because the program won't know how to look it up in the data files. But other than that, you can use any letters. It is case sensitive, so a little t and a big T are different codes. And then descriptions. Sorry, that's my screen capture stuff. Descriptions can be anything you want. They're just to label things. Now the group indicates which group the code's in, and you want, if it's a duration code, you want it to be mutually exclusive exhaustive. That means it covers the whole time and it indicates everything about it. And then the sampling for Lily is always going to be timed event or interval. For this, we're not using an interval system, so we're using timed events, so everything's a timed event. Then the collector label and row and column are just about the collector and where it puts things on the screen in the collector. So I put the frequency count codes, child correct, incorrect trial, and problem behavior over on the second column, and I put the trial started, trial stopped in the first column, and the reinforcer present, reinforcer gone in the first column. But I skipped one row to give it a little space. You'll see that in Lily. So then you need to go into the groups part and label your groups. So again, group 0 is child count codes, and it's a count metric. We just care about how many of those happen. Now we might care about whether they happen during the ITI or during the trial, during the reinforcer, but basically we only care about those are instantaneous events, and we don't care how long they last. The trial time, we do care how long it lasts, so we're going to have trial on, trial off, and there was a need for the intertrial interval, so that's going to be in the trial off time. And then there was a need to track when a reinforcer was present or not, and that's another duration code. So that's how you set that up. Once it's set up like that, then you can just do save mini moose Lily code file, and it'll label it mini with the same name. And I'm putting it on the desktop so I can find it here. Save. It's best to have a folder of your own where you're putting everything, but for me, I'm just putting it on the desktop. You don't want to replace the one that's there. Yes. Okay. So that's pretty much all there is to it for a timed event file. It'd be a similar process for intervals. So I'm going to close Moose's. I've made my code file. I'm going to open Lily and set that. Open that code file up in Lily so we can see how it looks on the screen. I've got a new version, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it. I can't find my last code file. That's okay because we got a new one. So I'm going to go into Lily's preferences, do change preferences, and this one's an event mode. So I'm going to pick the code file for which is on my desktop. This says mini Elian's open and mangle that name. Code file open. Now this isn't relevant. If you have really fast things happening, it's better to use times that are in milliseconds, and they're really intense. So I need to fix that. But now in your screen, you can change your button sizes. We are using multiple participants, so we're going to skip that, talking about that. Once I pick my code file, I should be able to close it, and there it will show up. So we have a start trial, end trial, so you would press that when the trial starts, ends. End's more important for this. Then reinforcer present, reinforcer gone, correct trial. So then you can look at the other videos about how you collect and manage the data for this, but basically you say new file, collect a file, put it on the desktop, and call it junk. Okay. And then you start the timer. I like to use the menu.
Begin observation session now.
And then you start. This is the end trial. And was it correct? The reinforcer is present. Okay, the reinforcer is gone. And so on. Another trial started. Another trial in. It was incorrect. I see some problem behaviors. Click in there. Reinforcer's gone. So on. So I'm going to do save and close. We have this junk text file here. This is the data that got collected. So there's a bunch of problem behaviors. Reinforcer's gone and so on. That's what it looks like. So then you would look at some of the other videos to manage the data and name your files so you know what they are and so on. But that covers how to make and hopefully edit a code file. Let me know if you have any questions. John Tapp again, signing off.